welcome to another exciting live edition of The Ravens Flock.
Yay!
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to see you today again.
Let's get down to business.
It is a Saturday, May 22nd, I believe.
Yes, May 22nd.
Yes, I got it right.
The
Hell
calendar,
yeah.
Can you not see the tiny little calendar down there?
You just answered why. It's tiny.
Juan, why
But
would we use a clock when we can, as usual, use you to solve all our problems conveniently and cheaply? You are the oil on our Middle East.
But of course, we don't rely on you 100% of the time. Sometimes we are self-sufficient.
Sometimes we export Juan from other locations.
Oh my goodness!
I am not a soulless inanimate object that you can commodify.
I
got standards.
Don't say
I
that.
got rates.
Petrol oil is made of living beings. You deserve better.
It's made of formerly living beings.
Well,
All
at some
right. Well,
point.
we're going to have to table that argument on petrol oil another time.
I'm
your
right,
host,
by the
Jose
way.
Casabona, also host of Wrestle Rewind. And joining me on the left, who apparently has imported Juan from other countries, host of Los Amigos Play, Angel Mendez.
Hello, everyone. I am willing to bring peaceful negotiations for your resources.
That being said, if you're importing me in other countries, I'm going to have to kill them.
No. You are more like the crack cocaine. The CIA imports you when we need somebody dead. Juan is the petrol oil. We import him when we need the machines to work.
All right, and joining me on my right is the host of the Black Files, the man who puts in demand hours behind the production and quality of all the videos we produce every single week, and apparently the man who can be exported in other countries around the world, Mr. Juan Arauz.
Yo, if I'm being exported, where the fuck is my pay?
You are the produce. Produce doesn't get paid.
Let's see you working without that.
Oh,
see you
damn.
work.
You're on timeout.
I just muted you on timeout. Nice going. Let's see you work without that.
Okay, listen, Juan.
I giveth and I taketh away, buddy.
Well, look what you did. He just invoked his executive orders, his executive rights here, man.
That is the power of the Petro Juan show.
Oh no, they hacked the Juan pipeline. Now
Plug it back
You do
on.
not fucks with me, buddy boy.
All right.
You
We've
may-
already got our friends in
You
on
may
the chat.
tear my tongue, but that only means you fear what I have to say.
Also,
No, don't do it. Come on, I didn't do anything wrong.
you were complicit.
What the
You're
fuck?
indemnified.
I'm the host.
Host that.
Fine, that just means I have to yell next to the mic.
Nice going. The mic cannot hear you if I point it away.
I'm gonna have to declare a war in the Juan Nation to get that sweet, sweet oil now.
Oh my
Nope, I'm not letting you speak. Angel is just giving a retort. You are indemnified.
Plug us back on. Come on.
Never. Okay, fine. Only because I'm lazy.
You and my complaint very sternly, let us take
You know what? Yo ass owes me the biggest piece of chicken tonight. All right?
No, fuck that. That son of a bitch is eating drumsticks.
What I do so enjoy my paintings.
God almighty. All right, folks. So
already
while
going in-
we're getting
You're
things
already
back
going in the
order-
wrong way. That's why you need my ass.
So
Gentlemen,
now that
please.
we're done discussing individual policy,
Gentlemen, please, before we get to everything else we need to talk about, I do need to let people know that we are currently simulcasting on youtube.com/theravensflock and twitch.tv/theravensflock online. If
Let me
you're
check
watching-
the microphones real quick and the actual levels to be safe.
Please do, because that was some crazy shenanigans you did not need to do.
Sure,
Yes,
I did. You
he
know why?
did.
Why?
Let me tell you something over here. There is an old fable about a very stingy corporate executive where his plumbing went completely haywire. Oh, no. Here's what's up. He had to hire a plumber who looked at the situation, took 5 minutes to look at it, pulled out a single hammer, and tapped in one part of the piping. That fixed the entire problem, and the plumbing is fixed. When he gave the executive the bill, he saw that it was an outrageous amount. It said it's around to $250,000. The executive had said, "This is outrageous. Why would you expect me to pay?" This is why. It's $250, and here's the breakdown.
Why is it
$2 for the
story?
hammer, and $249,998 to know where the fuck to tap it. I know where to tap the hammer, baby. Yeah.
So you see, just like petrol oil takes a while to become gasoline, Juan takes a while to get to the point.
Oh my goodness!
But I get the point.
Yes,
Yes.
you get the point.
Also, Angel, why are you facing away from the camera?
Because
Talk
I like
to
to look at the
me.
people that I talk to. And speaking of
Anyway,
which,
so
we would like
folks,
to-
if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all of our weekly content. And no matter whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, if you have questions or comments, leave them on the stream and we will answer them during the duration that we are live. As Juan eloquently pointed out, we already have comments generating.
Yep. I do want to say hello to yours truly, Billy, and Nora Otaku on the
Hey.
chat. And Brandon Ogden. Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the stream.
How you doing,
Billy
Brandon?
saying we're live. Nora saying hello. Billy, right on time. Gonna kill me some Nazis while watching and listening to the stream. Nora, I
Nice.
thought that Juan was the Hime of 420. No, but I am gonna be splitting an edible tonight with my sexy wife. So yay. Billy, can you guys keep the mics close to you while talking? I barely hear you. Nora eating popcorn with amusement, and Brandon saying already did. Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
Billy, we are trying to keep the mics close to us. I'm trying to keep things in order.
It is nonetheless our pleasure to have somebody listening to what we have to say.
Well,
so
these-
you have our sincerest thanks, and we hope that we become an enjoyable piece of background noise to your Nazi orgy of violence.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yay.
but that being said, can we stay in order, gentlemen?
Mental gents.
Come on, man.
Angel, get me 900 cigarettes. I feel
Yes.
a meme coming on.
Sons of bitches. I gotta be the one cutting damage.
But
control
Juan,
on both
you're
of you.
extremely flammable. Please don't.
It's okay. I'm not a fool. We're splitting it 3 ways. Each one of us gets 300 cigarettes, and Jose wears the balaclava.
Fantastic.
You know what?
Gentlemen.
You know what? I ought to be annoyed, but I'm not. You know why? Because Juan did something really
No,
awesome
we-
this week.
we
But
can
before,
talk
well,
about
yeah,
something-
before we talk about that, we
We
actually
need to actually talk about some serious
something
shit.
very important.
Right.
So we have to get this out of the way. We do need to address
We're bringing
the
it down for a
passing
moment, folks. It's all right.
of manga artist. I believe his name was Kentaro Miura.
Kentaro Miura, one of the most well-known manga artists of the day and creator of the hit series that has inspired countless copycats throughout the years, Berserk, sadly passed away on the 6th of May. We actually only got the news about a week ago, and according to the medical report, please bear with me for a moment while I
Yes,
get my
go
hands on
ahead.
this information. Oh man, I'm still kind of reeling from it because shit, it's one of those things that is kind of hard to realize. Oh man, this actually happened. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second to get my hands on this thing.
It's truly a sad moment, and we wish to pay our respects to a beautiful mangaka,
Yep.
a man who has pioneered the art form, a man who has kept us thoroughly entertained,
Yeah.
and the creator of by far one of the most terrifying stories I've ever come across.
Yet a story filled with hope and the struggle to survive. Kentaro Miura, world-famous creator of Berserk, has passed away at the age of 54. According to the
That was
statements,
59.
not even that far, I'm afraid. According to the statements of the editorial department of Young Animal Comics, the poor man passed away at May the 6th as a result of acute aortic dissection. I don't know the specifics of the illness, but for what I've been told, essentially means that your vein bursts and you die immediately for lack of blood to your heart.
Oh, fuck.
It is very sad, and what's even more sad is that his work is left unfinished.
Unfortunately, yes. Unlike his many assistants, we don't know what they are going to do. Supposedly, and according to a report done in 2019, he left behind notes explaining how the manga was going to be finished, and his assistants can draw almost as well as he. But whether they will actually take up the pen and proceed ahead depends on what he left behind in his will, if he ever did. But yes, unfortunately, that means that until further notice, one of the greatest mangas in the world, if not one of the coolest works of the Dark Era, is as of now on permanent hiatus, as we have lost one of the greatest mangakas in the world.
Indeed. We in the Ravens Flock would like to extend our deepest condolences to all of his closest friends and family members, those who know him personally, those who've been with him personally, those who worked with him. We express our sincerest condolences to each and every person who has been part of his life, who he has touched with his art.
It's fucking funny because, it's folks just think, oh, Berserk is just this obscure anime that just didn't do anything. Okay, let's sit you down under the learning tree and let me get my reading glasses because the library is open, children.
Yes.
How many different other animes? How many different other video games, stories, all sorts of different art forms and entertainment has Berserk inspired? Off the top of my head, doesn't he fucking carry a giant fucking Buster Sword like a certain yellow hair, like
Yes.
spiky
Yes.
haired motherfucker who is basically the living the mascot of an entire like 18 game fucking video game franchise called
Pretty
Final
much.
Fantasy.
It is pretty
Yeah.
much from the start. Berserk has inspired about. Okay, let me put it this way. You know how they say everything is a JoJo reference?
Yes.
Well, guess what? Everything else is a Berserk,
Berserk reference, yeah.
For those of you who dabble into the line of video games, if you ever played any Dark Souls or Bloodborne game, you will see the influence everywhere.
Berserk is the Dark Souls of anime. Literally.
In a sense, no irony. Yes,
Literal-
it is.
not
it was.
irony,
It was
literally.
a genuine trendsetter for its time, and it defined
incredible.
countless pieces of fiction in every form of entertainment throughout the years. You want a very, very recent example? Relatively simple. Infinity War. Remember the scene where Thanos?
Avengers Infinity War?
Yeah. Remember when Thanos gets the stone?
Yes.
He sacrifices a loved one to get a specific jewel that will grant him amazing power on the cusp of an eclipse, under the
That's
supervision of a demonic figure in a black cloth.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Even if it feels like a bit of a loose representation, it's very clearly that somebody in that production team was watching Berserk, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this thing is a fucking behemoth.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, God.
dude, just look through fiction, and the amount of characters that have been inspired by gods alone is staggering, almost on the triple digits.
Shout out the Edgehogs.
Every single anti-hero with a sad past and a big fucking sword you've ever seen took at least some inspiration from gods. So, well,
It's no secret that Berserk has basically inspired a lot of different animated shows and movies, a lot of creators out there, and whether the work itself, whether the manga will continue with other people behind the wheel, that remains to be seen. I personally think like it probably will, but it won't be the same because it's not going to have the same original ingenuity from the original artist.
or the art style. We can actually get to see Miura's art evolution through the series as it goes from a rougher sketch style to a beautifully detained, almost landscape-like levels of detail. Like, if you could see Miura's work in Berserk Volume 1, which still looks pretty good, but a little rough, all the way to the most recent volume before his regretful passing, holy shit, you would not realize that it's the same person drawing. And to their credit, his assistants can draw almost as well as him, but even if they had the notes, I suppose I'll be happy if I just get an ending out of it, but it's still a shame that
doesn't feel right.
the sheer level of brutality manga creators endure in Japan just to get their work done is insane. This is not the first time we've seen this.
It's not. This has happened before, and I would like to continue going on, but we do have a lot to discuss.
Let's finish what Angel's point was going to be first, and then we'll get into the fun.
Point in case
We'll try
is-
to bring back fun over here.
I fear that what we're seeing here is ultimately yet another consequence of Japan's incredibly brutal work until you die policy, which has allowed some beautiful work to be made, but at the same time, the amount of hell the manga creators go to just to get their work out is something that deserves respect and admiration, because some of them can and have pushed themselves to the point of physical illness just to get the problem done. Somebody actually looked up the recent reports of Miura's work, and the man barely survived Corona as it was, only to find out he couldn't go to his friend's funeral because Corona kept him on his house.
Fuck.
There was a constant running joke of the fact that Miura goes on hiatus almost constantly, and they know it's because of health problems, but nobody realized it was going to be over something like this. And yeah, no, sadly, you just kind of broke the news about a week ago, and we're still reeling over that, unfortunately.
We are, and we would like to right now pay a moment of silence for the passing of Kentaro Miura. All right, let's go ahead.
Thank you very much, folks.
Yes.
Yep.
Now let's go ahead and continue. Going back on the opposite side of the spectrum.
We're giving you some emotional whiplash, folks.
Emotional whiplash up the ass. Like,
To be fair, though, the idea of Berserk is that you have to keep going no matter how bad it gets.
actually,
So,
yes, that's
yeah.
actually
Yes,
true.
so that is very
struggle to live, because the meaning of life is in the struggle itself. So there we go.
Yeah,
That's kind of
course. And
fascistic
know
if you think about it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: people find the meaning of life through whole different means. But right now, that's a whole different topic for another time. I actually want to talk about something awesome, something really cool, something really badass that Juan Arauz has done recently. And you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. It wouldn't sound awesome if I said it. So I'm going to let Juan tell the story.
Come back in frame. Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
So
why are you out of frame, bro? Are
tell
you
us
afraid
the
of camera?
story of the degeneracy.
Okay. All right. It's no secret, and you can tell from the thumbnail, folks, and you can tell from the title of tonight's show. Yes, I finally got my one-on-one with known YouTube sexual predator Greg Jackson, best known as Onision. As I've stated before, he likes to shout to everybody, no, my legal name is James Jackson. Call me that. Motherfucker, your original legal name was Gregory James Daniel, and then you decided you hate your dad. So you took your mom's maiden name, Gregory James Jackson, and then you decided that you're going to become a goddamn YouTube pedophile. So you decided to shave that down to James Jackson, so that when you finally enrolled your own fucking children into school, people wouldn't look you up and realize what kind of degenerate piece of shit you are.
Juan, so how did this opportunity came to be?
Okay. It's so fucking stupid. Now, as you may or may not know, folks, coming up very soon, actually in 5 days, the Discovery Channel's Plus app, the Discovery Plus app, is going to be premiering an additional 4th episode, which was previously unscheduled, of a documentary series that they released at the beginning of the year called Onision in Real Life. The reason they originally
They really used that title?
Yes,
That is so unimaginative. They really could come up with something.
No, as in Onision. Oh, he's this weird guy on YouTube. He's so wacky and zany. But in real life, he's a goddamn disgusting degenerate who has mentally and sexually abused women. He abuses the YouTube algorithm. He has monetized his scum and degeneracy.
Not anymore, according to Twitch.
Oh, yeah, no. Not anymore, thank God.
We'll timeline it as soon as we get to it, but continue.
But they had originally slated 3 episodes. After the 3rd episode, which involved the discussion of his actual grooming and eventual sexual abuse of an underage teenage girl, that the moment she turned 18, he had sex with her and then threw her out of his house.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, just fucking great.
Like, the guy took this is the Cliff Notes version, folks. The guy basically took her in. She was a fan of his. He took her in. He got her. Him and his spouse somehow got legal guardianship over this girl for nearly 2 years, and the whole time was mentally manipulating the girl, sexually manipulating the girl without a single touch. And then the second she turned 18, he went and fucked her and threw her out the door. And what's funny is that he claims up and down, his big defense on that is, oh no, she sexually abused me. I'm the real victim. She blackmailed me into having sex with her.
Now,
it was so horrible.
Let's get one thing straight here. Men can be raped. Men have been raped.
That's true.
They are unfortunately just as much victims as women, and society likes to turn a blind eye to die far more often than is possible. But you cannot look at us and tell me that a grown-ass adult with his grown-ass wife took in a teenager, raised her for how long?
Roughly 2 years.
Roughly 2 years, and then you are telling me that she raped him. Because unless she pulls some Nolita shit, which I find myself very skeptical of,
Nope.
this sounds like some bowl with a side of shit on the side.
Indeed it was.
All right,
I mean,
so
that's just me, but it sounds like lies.
it is lies.
It is lies, and it's bullshit. It is him trying to cover up the fact that he is accountable for his own
Bro,
actions.
you took advice of a borderline minor.
So
And
what
even
wa-
she was 18. Come on, man.
Yeah, that is fucking bullshit. So what was the purpose of Onision putting out that live video?
Good question. Why
I'm
would he open
explaining-
himself
I'm
up to that?
spinning a yarn. Let me spin the yarn. I'm getting to this.
Give him the knitting needles.
Do you remember how I gave you the story about the executive and the plumber? There's a lead up to it and there's a point to it. I'm getting to it. I'm telling the story. Have patience. Yes, go ahead. Here.
May I?
You know what? Here, pour yourselves a drink.
I already have mine. Please leave it there.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Thank you.
realize. No, it's clear. It's like clear lemon lime soda. I couldn't tell if there was anything on there.
No,
right,
dude,
so-
dude, come on, man. Go ahead and
All right, so
continue your
here's-
story. I won't interrupt.
So that story was being told without the girl in question on the 3rd episode of this documentary. However, Discovery Communications and the producers of the documentary reached out to her, and they scheduled an actual proper interview one-on-one with her, and that interview is going to be coming out in 5 days. Recently, Greg has been putting up daily live streams on his Onision Speaks channel, trying to discuss everything and anything under the sun in order to try to get ahead of the story, in order to try to get ahead of his mania and get ahead of what's going to be told about this guy. And he's basically like, no, that's not what really happened. She raped me. I was such a victim. I'm so horribly victimized by a tiny little like 17, 18-year-old girl. Motherfuck. Either this guy is, I understand that he's like super thin and stuff, and he's like scrawny, like over the years, but he's also been getting like pudgy at the same time. He's out of shape as bad as I am. So you mean to tell me that he somehow got sexually overpowered or sexually abused and blackmailed by a tiny little waif of a girl?
Unless she drugged him, but he certainly never said anything about that.
Nope.
I mean, if it was so important, he would have put that like right off the bat.
For a guy who likes to keep little cameras in and around his house and keep surveillance cameras across the street from himself, like a
freak,
like a psychopath, one would imagine that maybe he would have had some fucking footage of that so he could present that. Like, okay, you don't believe me? Here's the receipts. Here's what really happened. I was saying no, stop.
But he never backed them up. He never showed anything.
He's just saying, no, she's a liar. No, she's raped me. No, she's destroying me. Everyone is at fault. I'm the victim here. I'm the most innocent, honest man in all of YouTube.
Is he gonna tell us that then she did some Mission Impossible shit to disable the cameras before explicitly slipping the drugs into his drink?
So,
for real though, this is some disgusting shit.
The beauty of this is that Onision is so starved for attention and starved for engagement that on his Onision Speaks channel, which by the way, at last I counted, had about 1.58 million subscribers.
That's a lot of subscribers.
He has hosted daily live streams,
right?
And invites his viewers and his fans in. On the day that I jumped in on this live stream, which he uses StreamYard for, and put the StreamYard join link in the comments instead of trying to private message people.
Is that how you found it?
Yes.
It was just there on the streets.
It was just there, like a fucking door.
And how many people were on that stream again?
Well, it was less than 130 people watching live.
You know, I'm a little confused though, because I mean, I'm not one to criticize, seeing as our audience is very small, but normally if you have millions of subscribers, doesn't it stand to reason that more people would watch your streams?
You're absolutely right.
Am I taking crazy pills?
Less than 1/10% of his viewership.
That is sad.
I want to get in on the comments real quick.
Shoot out.
Let's see here. Nora was giving sad face. Anime has always had life lessons. This is regarding the author of Berserk. Enrage and activates my Goth Vassal Lorde mode. Grips my sword. It's onion rings time. Brandon Ogden. Don't forget, he's got OnlyFans. Vomit face emoji.
By the way, yes, this creature has an OnlyFans.
This disgusting dude has
that
an OnlyFans.
is fucking disgusting.
This entity I refuse to call human.
Okay, Nora saying the Ravens flock. Fuck them up. Yeah, very nice. We agree.
Trust me, we
and
will.
We also have Steph the alternate. Hey up, everyone. Hey, Steph.
Hello, Steph.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
What's going on is I'm bragging on me going in on the YouTube stream of known sexual predator Greg Onision Jackson earlier this week. And this idiot does not know how to screen calls to save his life. He does not know how to see people who are clearly out to try to speak with him and actually out to try to speak the truth against him. I went in on him live for about how long was that? I started at 39
It was
minutes.
exactly 4 minutes and 38 seconds of him repeating the same question for 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
See,
the other 20 seconds were him asking to talk, even though he spent the last 2 hours doing nothing but.
So while you were on his stream for 4.5 minutes,
I basically went in on there and said, like, I wasn't going to originally waste my time on this, but you know what? I have, because I have a job and I have a life that I have to leave. But since you're giving the opening to anyone, I'm going ahead and I'm basically putting this out there. You're a goddamn liar, Onision. You are scum. You have sexually and mentally manipulated women. You have sexually and mentally manipulated children. You try to game the YouTube algorithm. You have monetized your degeneracy and your disgusting habits of trying to hook up with underage teenage girls because you have no self-fucking control.
Or Steam.
Hold on, what's up? Oh, Steph.
No, dude, you're on a roll. Read the comments later.
All right, I'll read the comments in a moment over here. And I want, basically, since he gave the floor to anyone who wanted to try to talk with him, I went ahead and jumped in on the floor. Now, Onision has a very, very, shall we say, monotonous tactic that when he realizes that someone's there to basically throw egg on his face,
handing over the L's.
Exactly, hand over every single every single one of them. And what he would wind up doing in his defense would be to demand evidence and speak over the person, not at letting them actually get a word in edgewise. I responded in kind. I did not stop speaking. I went over and spoke with him over and over, and I went in and answered his questions while he was asking them. He was saying, like, "Oh, what evidence are you talking about with this evidence of?"
I kept asking, "When?
Are you kidding me? You put out a whole fucking website."
Remember that picture of Will Smith going? It was kind of like that.
It's
either he's stupid, either he's very stupid, or he's
like he put up on his website, which is riddled with, which by the way, his website collects your IP address. It's riddled with spamware. I highly recommend.
Hell, is that made from China?
No, it's made from his basement because the motherfucker doesn't know how to code right.
Oh, right.
Or better yet, it's very likely that he does know how to code right, and he tries to spam in on other people's software.
So
the more advice, don't go to Onision's websites ever. They are loaded with spamware. They are loaded with ransomware. They are loaded with viruses. They will track your IP because he's a freak like that.
So that's where LimeWire went off to after all these years.
Juan, as you continue, the more you kept bringing all the acts that he's done to life, the more he kept repeating himself. Yeah,
he's like, "Where's my evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the evidence? Where's the proof?"
But you just kept going without stopping.
I did not stop. I basically said, like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Do you really want me to go ahead and bring up Sarah, which is the name of the girl? Like, you really want me to bring her up because I know that's a raw spot for you. You admitted that you had these sexual relations. You admitted that you guys had this relationship." Where you took her in as a guardianship for 2 years, and then what you expect us to believe that you just magically had sex with her at 18?
You don't understand. I treated my penis just fell inside of her.
No, motherfucker, you worked on this girl. You fucking manipulated her. You got her in a vulnerable position, and you presented yourself as someone that they could trust, and you manipulated that trust, and you distorted it into a disgusting, perverse sexual action because you're a piece of shit.
The worst part is
But something I did notice, if you don't mind, I do want to interject, because like near the end of the interaction, before he cut you off, he tried to take a let me explain, because I watched it too.
Yes.
He tried to take a small cheap shot at our channel, looking us up, saying like, "Wait, you guys are well funded," and then he looks up on our channel. "Oh wow, you only have 230 something subscribers. So how can you like?" how can you guys have this many subscribers and you guys have a lot of money?
Okay,
criticizing us.
Here's what's up. Here's what's up, guys. Earlier in like the last month or so, I had an episode of the Black Files where I had made an open invitation all over social media to Greg Onision Jackson, and I invited him. I got your permission. I spoke with you on this. This was a team decision. I said to him,
I may or may have not been drinking when I agreed.
Okay, I'm going
Shut up. You're in this. You're in this just as much as I am.
Oh, I know. I never said I was skewed responsibility. I'm just saying I was drunk.
It's fine. It's not the end of the universe. Okay, we basically did this. We basically said, okay, we're going to put out to him that we are going to offer him a chance with an interview that is worth $64,000, and it would also include a public apology. The entire goal of this was to try to have him get on, try to actually get him to say what he was meaning to say, and we were going to speak with him and tear down each point bit by bit because the guy is a known fucking liar. Of course, since the guy doesn't know how to fucking pay attention to his own Twitter email inbox, he ignored the invitation. We had to give him a very respectful decline that we will no longer be extending that invitation, and that the offer for this interview that is worth $64,000 will not be extended again. And we'd like to wish him, and for those of you who are pro wrestling fans, you'll love this. We would like to wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Classic.
Very fancy.
I don't think many people will get the reference, but that was good.
It's basically a fuck you from WWE management. The point on this is that the guy was going on and saying, like, wait a minute, how you guys only have 230 subscribers and you were going to pay me $64,000?
Wow, he read that message wrong.
Excuse me. No, that's part of the wordplay here, man. I said that our interview was going to be worth $64,000. I never said we were paying you $64,000. Quite the contrary. The entire intention that I had all along was to let you know that since this interview is worth $64,000, we would now like to invite you, Greg Onision Jackson, to go ahead and let us know where you are going to donate $64,000 to in a charity of your choice. Also, since this is including a public apology, we would give the floor to you now to extend that apology to the women and children that you have mentally and sexually abused.
You know that's not going to happen. He's never going to do
No,
that.
he never did.
Well,
no,
of course.
he never did, and he never would, because the guy is a self-absorbed, psychotic fucking freak who only wants to fuck underage girls.
Gotta put the
then
nice bear trap right there.
And then he cut you off right there. And then I saw what happened
he
afterwards.
He cut me out of the feed on there,
and then he was laughing.
like a fucking idiot over here.
No surprises to them. Ultimately, though, I do not care of the number because those 200-something subscribers mean more to me than 1.8 million robots will ever mean to the likes of someone like him. It is that simple.
But before I give out my statement, Juan, what are the comments?
Real quick on the chat. Steph over here. Brandon Ogden saying, "What a story, Mark."
So how's your sex life? Oh shit, the cops.
So anyway, how's your sex life?
Oh shit,
Steph
the cops.
is adding, Onision, in my opinion, is a criminal and needs to be locked up for life. Honey, he better hope to God the cops get to him before the rest of the internet mob does. Nora, Steph, exactly. Brandon, true, Steph. Nora cries the tears of joy. Juan went final Raven Mugetsu. Juan, I'm so proud of you.
And now Juan is going to lose all his power.
Matt T, who appears to be a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing to the Ravens Flock.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to hit the follow button, the notification bell, because live stream announcements apparently on YouTube.
And tell your friends about us.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Go on.
But yes, YouTube is being awfully asinine about alerts, so keep an eye on those, please.
Matt T is saying Onision seems like he's being honest now and changed his ways. It doesn't seem like there's an FBI investigation. You'd be surprised how much an actual investigation is. The only reason why they're not publicizing it is because the guy's a neurotic freak. You really want to tell a neurotic freak that you're investigating the neurotic freak?
It also might be because they don't have anything solid to nail him. But the fact that the documentary is going from 3 parts to 4 parts.
When they originally had only scheduled it for 3.
Actually, tell you what, Matty, if you get a chance to, please check out one of Onision's books. Any of the books. He made like 3. Just
he made 3 and they're all basically worth less than
browse through a few pages on the internet and I guarantee you, that is not a person that gets taken advantage of.
Yep.
Trust me. Trust us on this.
Yours truly, Billy. Reminds me of the Predator Poachers. Also, this Onision name is familiar. I don't know why. That's because he basically rose to fame more than 10 years ago on the show Tosh.0 with his music video of him dancing in a banana suit.
All right, what else?
And he's been writing on that coattail for nearly 2 decades since.
A dwarf starved.
Steph, what do you think to Chris Hansen's handling of the Onision situation? He could have done better. He could have done a lot better on this. He basically gave away a lot of details, and he wound up trusting a lot of folks who were only feeding him BS for drama, and Chris Hansen fell into the YouTube drama sphere with that. It's like I feel bad that he went into full boomer mode, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, Mr. Hansen simply could not adapt to the changing times and the dangers of the new technologies.
But what's funny is that Chris Hansen did have a role in helping to produce the Onision documentaries, which after the 3rd episode was when Onision was permanently banned from monetizing all his channels.
Yeah.
So
now, we've got
big ups to results, I guess.
We've got more comments generating. Juan, you can read them in a minute, but I do want to get this statement out of the way because shortly right after Juan showed me the video, I did take to Twitter. Here's the thing. I'm already blocked by Onision's personal Twitter because he doesn't like me. So I'm joining his list. But I tweeted his other Twitter page that he manages, basically saying like, hey, listen, I'm glad that my brother came on to your freaking show, to your stream, and called you out on your bullshit because we all know, we all can smell your bullshit, dude. We're not stupid and we're not afraid. All right. And you know what? I'm going to say it right now. Yes, we may be looked down on. Yes, we may have 230 subscribers, but the 235. But the one thing that we will always have under our belts is integrity.
And working dicks.
What?
And working dicks.
Yes, working dicks and integrity.
Oh, God.
And that speaks more volumes than how many bots or cultists you have subscribing to your channel. And yes, I did call him out on Twitter, basically saying, hey, P.S., I'm the man in charge of the channel. This bird is mine. So, if he wants to butt heads with the Ravens flock, my inbox is open.
Oh man, I would recommend that. Your cranium is way harder than his is.
The tea is very
You're
good
gonna
for
cave
you.
that fucker in if you try too hard.
I was gonna say that. Would that be accidental murder?
No, because when somebody runs in front of a running car, the insurance is not gonna cover for morality clauses.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The tea is especially.
It's
good for you
called
guys.
the law of morbidity. Look it up.
Real quick on the chat.
Look, man, Onision doesn't play by the book. Why should I?
Exactly.
On the chat, Matt T, I'm a new subscriber. Onision will never let you get a word in edgewise. Good luck. You're right. He wasn't trying to let me get a word in edgewise, which is why I ignored him when he was trying to cut me off, and I spoke over his sorry ass.
No, seriously. Can you imagine a conversation with a chicken?
Hang on.
All it does is cluck.
We gotta get more comments out. Wancho?
Let me get these comments in and out of the way. Let's see here. Brandon Ogden, do not read his books. It's strictly forbidden. Ha.
Okay.
Steph, the alternate. Angel being classy. Always. He's the living id of the Ravens flock.
I
There's nothing.
so
if nothing, this
do
guy's fucking
try.
classy.
He is. But go
Let's
on.
see here. Nora, his books are garbage. Matt T, no, I was just trolling. He's crazy and his books are insane. Matt T, oh my god, LMAO. You're right. His books are basically trash. I would suggest fucking pirating those fucking things.
Hang
There
on a
are
minute.
mirror sites. I don't know where they are.
Oh, I never say buy them.
And of course, if you're inclined to do such a thing, that is up to you. We totally do not actually advocate piracy of the digital
We
variety.
here at the Ravens Flock advocate the support of the official release. However, if you were to find yourself in a position where the product that you desire is unavailable due to lack of resources, limited print, economic needs, or being the likes of literary waste that would not serve good enough as toilet paper, then we just have to say the following. Please consider this an official statement.
Yep.
Supply and demand.
You okay?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have some more comments, I think.
More chat real quick.
Oh God,
let's
why
see
getting
here.
so much chat now?
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
know,
used to
go
this
fucking-
level of activity.
Guys, real quick,
Thank
letting you
you.
know the
Thank you, all
Onision
of you.
talk is going to be over soon. So,
Yes.
we do encourage you, please check out what we got in the thumbnail for tonight, and what we're headlining over here as well. We do have other shit we want to talk about.
There's a lot we got to talk about.
All right.
We
let's
appreciate
see
the
here.
interaction, though.
Angel,
Please keep it up.
Let's see here. Billy, guys, since some of you never got the chance to see the Verge PC build, is it possible to give it a watch and criticize it either this stream or sometime later? We'll do that in the future.
We should
We'll
try
do that
that
in the future,
sometime.
but go on ahead.
Nora, Matt T, I was about to say, Anonymous Gene, hello, welcome to the chat, Anonymous.
Hello, Gene.
I agree, Juan. Juan, how come when Greg talks about being raped by Sarah, why does he never mention that his wife and son were in the room? That's a very good question, Gene. By the way,
Well, you see, the NPCs cannot interact with the main character when the quest is in action.
God. Come on,
No,
do you
seriously,
really
though.
expect Greg to
Onision,
divulge that
okay.
information?
That is a fucking Phoenix Wright. Wait a second. Moment.
yeah. Let's see. Matt T. Onision's re-uploading tons of his old videos. He can't stand 5 seconds of the world not paying attention.
Oh,
With every move,
Jesus
he's
Christ.
obsessed with YouTube. He'll never give it up. Nora, his books are nothing but joint paper wraps. Not even that. I don't want to put that shit near my mouth. Fuck that. I would rather dip it in bleach and feed it to his sorry ass like in mid.
I would just bury it.
I will
Just
use
bury
it as a
6 feet
volcano
under.
for a science project, but I fear it might actually kill
Yeah,
someone.
yeah, no, you're right.
I'm not
Let's
above
see.
burning it. I will. I'd rather burn it.
Wait, no.
Matty, haha.
Fertilize it
Rosa,
for the land.
you're being unfair to joint wraps. Anonymous Gene, thanks for the welcome, by the way. Yeah, we welcome everyone who comes into the
Thank
chat.
you,
as
Mr.
best as
Gene.
possible.
Yeah.
For the record, though, don't burn the books. That's bad for the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Bury them and let them degrade into the earth so they can actually do something good.
Well,
Speak for
I would
yourself.
say throw them
Feed
in a
the
shredder
plants.
and then bury them.
Feed the plants, bro.
Exactly, yes. Feed them, return them to
All
the
right.
earth.
Well, I was gonna say, speak for yourselves. Personally, I'm all for burning anything that's related to Onision.
That's true, especially Onision himself. But that's not the point. The point here is that I love how he finally realized that I wasn't going to stop talking as long as he gave me a platform. So I went ahead and he went ahead and fucking took me off the stream. That goes to show you and how him and his fan base of degenerates were laughing alongside. They were saying like, "Oh, look at his double chin. Oh, look at his low subscriber."
They're trying to. It's just cheap
Please.
shots.
Like, okay, You wanna know
Juan,
what's
if-
one of the worst things that
Whoa,
I've said?
Juancho, Jesus, man. It's
What's
like
up?
you're taking over the show.
No, sorry, too late. This is the one episode now. I'm
let
going
me
home.
Finish on this shit. I'm going to be finished soon. I promise. I get it. It's your show. You're in charge. You're in charge. You're in charge. You're in charge. I get it. But let me finish this.
Local
This is my
man
tale of how
enters
I basically
Kaioken.
got to castrate this motherfucker live on air in front of his own dwindling fan base and get away with it. So I'm taking over for a few minutes if you'll let me. Pretty please with sugar on top. Actually, with soda on top.
We have entered political
stop.
filibuster
Okay,
times.
get to it.
This
Okay.
motherfucker's running for president next year.
No, I ain't running for president. I'm not old enough.
El presidente.
Now, the point of this whole thing is that this guy had such an interesting little future ahead of him when he was younger. He was interested in web design. He was building websites left and right like a fucking fiend. He was interested in working in the military because he didn't really see much of a direction for himself, and he could have, if he had enough mental fortitude, been an officer by now in the Air Force. That was actually something that I did. The only reason why I didn't jump in is because, I shit you not, my mother was afraid that I was going to get blown up out of the fucking sky by some asshole with an RPG. So, like, no, all right, fine, whatever. I guess I'm not going to...
Now you're just getting blown by something completely different.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah.
I was going to say my sexy
No,
life,
no
but
good
yeah.
news for you. Fuck off.
No, I get good news over here because as hard of knocks as I get, we may not have the biggest subscriber base, but they're loyal and we care about you guys and we appreciate every single one of you.
Thank you
Because you
all.
motherfuckers interact. You guys actually interact with us. We appreciate that even though it's been taking us 9 years to get even this far, we stuck by our guns. We stuck by our
We
integrity.
stuck by our commitment to this channel, to
Yeah.
what we love doing. Yes, it was a late start, and yes, we don't have a bajillion subscribers, but we stayed consistent. We stayed true to what we love doing. And we appreciate every single one of you out there interacting with us. Every single one of you that subscribes.
But at the end of
Much
the day,
appreciated.
all this is really is like Jose mentioned to Greg on his tweet. Nobody's afraid of you, Greg. None of us. Everyone can see what kind of a disgusting little scumbag weasel you really are and how the walls are closing in on you. The fact that you let me on, not knowing point blank when I would have been trying to speak with you for nearly 2 years, calling you out on your bullshit, that just shows how fucking insulated you are in your world. And I am glad that you let me on. And I'm not. And I remember when we showed you the video, Angel. You basically said, Juan, you're basically beating up a dead dog at this point.
Not that the dead. No, don't say that.
No.
Dogs are loyal. Dogs are better than to be compared to the
you're
likes
right.
of him.
No, what was it that
Honest-
you said exactly?
The worst thing you can do is give a person like him more attention, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you he didn't deserve to be called out on his bullshit.
No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right, Angel. And on any other day, I'd be happy to go ahead and drop it. But I have committed to seeing this through. Whether or not I go back into this in the future and taking Onision on in YouTube, having us take him on as a team, as a Ravens flock, or just basically continuing to point out his bullshit on Twitter as I've been doing for 2 years. I'm committed to seeing the end of this guy, getting him removed from each one of these platforms, getting him to be thrown down to our fucking level. Mr. 1.58 million subscribers who can't get
Right.
130 people live.
I mean, you think with that number, I seen what VTubers can do with way less people, so you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like
Holy shit.
my story behind is that like, I'm committed to seeing the end of Onision as a whole, as an entity. We'll look back on him, I guarantee you, in no less than 3 years' time as an oddity that is finally out of the internet for good. Whether or not he's still alive, I don't care. I would like to see him knocked down to where he cannot find any sort of revenue on the internet anymore. If he manages to somehow get a straight job and have to suffer and struggle like the rest of us working schmoes,
Good.
I'll be fine with that. I'll be elated if he could finally get what's coming to him and actually have the FBI come down on him the way he deserves. That would be my dream come true. And folks, if he decides to punch his own meal ticket, which is something that he's threatened to do in the past.
I'm counting on it.
over and over and over and over.
He fucking did that.
Isn't this
because
like the
in order
fifth
to
or
get out
seventh
of
time he
alimony
said
from his first wife that he
Jesus.
divorced to get to hook up with another girl who was underage.
Yep.
Wow.
He threatened to off himself in order to get out of alimony. But you know what?
We're reaching
I
the
would-
point where he'll do it again, and the entire world will just say, "Good, go ahead. We're waiting."
Yeah, no, I would simply say, you know what? Someone taking their own life is very sad. But just let me know where to visit his grave.
Yeah.
Be sure to have a couple of drinks in beforehand, though.
We gotta pay proper respects.
Yeah. That being sorry. If he passes, I'm not going to feel anything like, oh well.
We do not condone suicide.
Nor do we encourage him to do it. But if
we
it
believe
happens,
that you are responsible for your actions and the consequences thereof.
Yes.
We at the Ravens Flock are big fans of personal responsibility and accountability. I don't follow it, but these two tell me they're fans, so I kind of follow the lead too. You know what I mean?
Whatever. He's talking a bunch of shit, but
no, he ain't.
Love you too, darling.
Dude, mommy, daddy, please. I hate it when you fight.
Listen, son.
No, daddy, no.
Sometimes you need to understand that a man has needs. And that means I need to play a 24-hour MMO so I can grind one goddamn weapon to proper upgrading. That's the only way we're gonna do things.
The last time, Dad, Farscape is gone.
All right, children.
I never stop believing.
Getting back on it. Yes. Let's put Onision behind us for now, for the time being.
Let's go ahead and get into the chat before we go into the next topic over here.
Please do.
All right. Very quickly on the chat, folks. Let's see here. Anonymous Gene. Actually, no. Before that, let's see.
Dave, there was a lot. Holy shit.
Okay.
Let's read out the longer
Matt,
ones.
Yeah. I'm gonna be skipping a couple of the short ones, guys, because
Sorry.
we're
Oh,
the
yeah.
one time.
Oh no, we're reaching the point where we have to skip
Matt,
people.
oh no, it's Gene.
We're about to get famous
Gene,
now.
I've heard people talk trash about you. Nora, Onision equals night creatures. Yep. Gene, I loved what you did to him, Juan. You guys see what happened to him on Kermit and Friends the other day? Some chick handed him his ass. No, we didn't watch it. I was over here actually getting
We
paid.
will check that out later.
Let's see. Nora, Juan, you are way more handsome than Greg. At least you have a beautiful wife. Yes, I do, and yes, I am. Thank you for that, Nora. Let's see. Matt, Nora, I wish I were half as handsome as Greg. Wow, no, don't. Jesus.
No!
You deserve
Gene,
better than
Why
that.
would you want to be that ugly?
Okay, let's see.
You deserve
Billy,
better than that. Come on
Lola
now.
Bunny debate for bringing me to this channel. Probably the best thing that came out of it. Speaking of which, I'm not excited for the new Legacy movie, especially after it added the Rapist from A Clockwork Orange in a cameo after removing Pepe.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, by the way, they did that. They removed Pepe over the stupid accusations of him being a sexual predator.
Whoa!
Disregarding everything about him. But the very first trailer of Slam Jam 2, the Slamajamini, has the crew of A Clockwork Orange in the background.
The Droogles, oh god.
Wow.
Also, I'm gonna
Okay.
say it right now, the new bad guys, nowhere near as impressive as the Monstars.
No, not
The
bad.
Monsters were goofy and stupid, but they had that big size to them, you know?
Gene, that will, Billy, Warner Brothers be shooting themselves in the leg without being aware, lol.
No
Gene,
surprises.
That will come. It won't be the FBI one. It will be the U.S. Marshals for fucking Shiloh in Pennsylvania. Yeah, no, I'll give you that every
Hey,
time.
I am more than happy to back the boys in blue when they do the right thing.
Matt T, you guys seem like pretty good guys. We try. Well,
Wait,
actually,
wait,
you know
wait.
what? We're not really good guys.
We're just guys.
We're like, you want to know what we are?
We are honest
We're
guys.
assholes.
I think the best person to say it would be me, the
Please.
first asshole.
Fine,
Please.
yes, fine. You're the
The
leading
primal asshole.
There you go. Since I bogarted so much here, I'm going to
All
slide
right, you don't
back.
have to make a statement.
No.
The
no.
primal
No, you're the one
asshole will
making the
now
statement.
speak.
No, you're the one making the statement. You're the one who tells everyone that we're the assholes in front of the camera, but we're the assholes with principles.
Yeah, but you just said it, which devaluates.
No, you say it in your own words. I'm sliding back, and here.
Get in, bro. This is your turn.
I promise.
You own this moment.
See?
All right. Yes, it started with one asshole, but now we are an entire group of assholes. But are we liars? No, we're not. We are not liars. We are always honest. We always, like as Angel mentioned, we believe in responsibility and holding people accountable for their actions. And part of being responsible means that we must be honest. We are honest to our core. We're just not very nice about being honest.
We're honest to a fault.
Whether
Like the
we're-
Mariana Trench fault.
Whether we're good guys or whether we're assholes or whether we're jerks, that's really not up for us to decide. We don't decide who we are. We let the people decide. History will decide who's right. End of story.
Oh, man.
I believe one of our heroes had said it best. You're absolutely right. I'm not a good guy. I don't wear a white hat, but I am in touch with what these people want.
Yes.
That's
That's
us.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I appreciate
what
that.
I said was good, right?
History is gonna put us on like the section like right next to the fucking Third Reich or some shit.
No, they're not. No, we were talking an awful lot about. We're actually talking an awful lot about the Space Jam stuff.
Yes.
Bringing up the issue of Warner Brothers shooting themselves in the foot. Joe, would you like to go ahead and let them in on how consequences happen?
Oh.
Warner Brothers.
Oh, you talking about? You mean the sale of WarnerMedia being sold over to Discovery Channel?
It has been confirmed after months of rumors and speculation.
Oh my God. Okay.
So yeah, we are entering the entertainment section of the show. I hope that you will enjoy it as well, because now it's time to talk about what bullshit is going down on the industry that provides you your movies, games, and comics.
Oh boy,
That too.
Long ago.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all the Cliff Notes version while Jose pulls up the actual article over here. And you want to pull one up? Yeah, from
here we go, from the Washington Post, and this was posted yesterday.
Oh boy, here we go.
Like,
Well, it's
go ahead.
related to it.
Yeah, no, this isn't it. This isn't the actual article. Let's see here.
We're doing live research right here in front of you from the Ravens vlog.
They know
It's the only
this.
way.
We say that every week.
I need to repeat it. It's a disclaimer. The lawyers keep telling me I have to do shit like this.
Which one is it? Fuck.
Hang on a minute.
Hold on, I think that's the one from
The
Variety.
sale has been
Variety.
rejected. The
All
news
right.
have disappeared.
Here we go. WarnerMedia and Discovery mega deal leaves rival studios scrambling to get bigger. You sure this is it?
Okay, no, that's not it. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Break this
Cliff
down.
them while I
Okay,
look for
I'm
it.
gonna cliff note y'all for this. Basically, what's going on is this: AT&T, the phone network here in the United States. Like I've always had a really low opinion of AT&T.
Can't say I care much for their phone service to begin with.
Yeah, no, that's why you were with Sprint for a little while.
I still am.
So anyway, Angel, would you like to speak about this for a little bit? You can't, because Sprint got bought off by T-Mobile. Okay, that's not the
Whoops!
point. The
Would you
point
like to
here
reach
is
our
that
new T-Mobile deal?
the AT&T company, the conglomerate of communication, bought WarnerMedia a couple years back, and they were basically working on churning out churning out all sorts of different content, namely for the HBO Max app, which was the big Warner Brothers app. Everything that was Warner Brothers ever under the umbrella, all in one
Yep.
shot.
Take the
HBO
whole
won.
bag.
That's why and they're also the reason why there was there's the controversy of all these movies coming out simultaneously to their HBO Max release as well as their theatrical releases.
I'm a little surprised how big. Honestly,
look back,
when they started rolling
I
out
was
all
gonna
these
say, do you have a link
pay-per-view
on your
services
messenger?
again, I was expecting a bunch of them to fail, but I'm a little surprised they're still going.
And yet, it's really hysterical that
Isn't this the same AT&T that's freaking selling Rooster Teeth?
Yes.
My goodness, man.
So I have no idea what's going to happen now. Man, the show ended in the best way possible when
They
you think
sold
about
Rooster
it.
Teeth, and now they're selling WarnerMedia.
I believe that it was part of a package deal, that the moment they sold WarnerMedia, Rooster Teeth goes with them.
My goodness.
So no idea where that's going on right now, what's going to happen. Now, I doubt this is going to like damage the company much. It's just going to be a lines of, congratulations, you now have another boss to answer to. How that exactly is going to affect their future projects, we don't know yet.
look for the CNBC article.
All we know is that
Actually,
the
let me
actual
look for it.
transaction has finally taken place after a lot
Oh
of
no! Yeah.
questions.
Oh no! They're announcing that they're in the process of it now.
They're printing the receipt right now.
Holy!
Still printing.
Still printing.
Rip.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, you know what? As an entire company, as an infrastructure, it's not going to affect AT&T because they're still generating their money out of other services that they provide. There are still customers who still use AT&T.
Of course. Just a fun fact. Do you know that there's still people in the world that use AOL?
Not surprised.
Here you go.
Here we go.
Like,
According to
we're pulling up the CNBC article.
Yep, this was published on Monday, May 17th. AT&T announces a $43 billion deal to merge WarnerMedia with Discovery. Now, let me go into some details here. Here we go. Let's see here. A telecom giant AT&T announced Monday a deal was to combine its content unit, WarnerMedia, with Discovery, paving the way for one of Hollywood's biggest studios to compete with the media giants Netflix and Disney+.
Damn. So we can basically come to the conclusion that right now Netflix and Disney Plus are the big wigs of pay-per-view entertainment, while everybody else is basically trying to catch up.
They're the main cornerstones of streaming entertainment. Like they're the ones that are getting the most revenue out of.
I was gonna say, like, Disney. It's got.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
Disney
It's
got
Disney and it's
Hulu,
Netflix which
Yeah.
came
and
first.
they got NFL and all the fucking sports channels that they got.
Under the agreement, AT&T will unwind its $85 billion acquisition of Time Warner, which closed just under
Jesus
3 years ago,
Christ.
and form a new media company with Discovery. The deal would create a new business, separate from AT&T, that could be valued at as much as $150 billion, including debt, according to the Financial Times.
Damn. So we got big numbers and big money being moved around. So the question is, what are they going to do with this stuff? Now, best case scenario, I'm thinking they're just going to fund the projects that they already have going. And they're going to, pocket the exchange. That's how it's supposed to be. But what the hell?
I'm skipping ahead here. Like, it's approved by regulators. The deal effectively reserves AT&T's year-long plan to combine content and distribution in a vertically integrated company. The company said that the deal is expected to close in the middle of 2022.
Oh, so it's still technically going. It's just confirmed that it's being happened.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Well, I suppose it makes sense. When you're moving that much property and capital, it's inevitable. Something is going to slow down. But, yeah, what do you guys think is going to happen now to Rooster Teeth, though?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already talked about this. Yeah. They're going to get picked up by another network. But as far as this AT&T is concerned, if they're trying to compete with Disney Plus and Netflix in terms of being the leading provider of streaming service, they've got a long way to climb, my friend.
See, for the record, Gen Lock Season 2 with Michael B. Jordan has already been approved. So that means that Rooster Teeth is still working on their projects even through this merge, which leads me to believe that, yes, the branch of them is small enough that ultimately this won't affect them much. So that means that we're going to have to sit back and watch Season 9 of RWBY so we can be even further disappointed.
Okay,
yeah, but if
guys, let me help break this down a little bit, because you got to understand the movie franchises that are all tied in on this stuff, and everything is under WarnerMedia.
Yes.
You got to remember this. $83 billion is being exchanged in order for this to happen. Mm-hmm. How many freaking movies, how many freaking franchises are under WarnerMedia?
Many.
Warner Brothers, for instance, the entirety of DC.
To begin with.
Yeah.
That not just the DCEU, the Snyder...
All of it.
The animated stuff. The comics franchise itself, funnily enough. All of DC is under that umbrella.
Boy.
Let's see. WarnerMedia, isn't it also part... No, actually, remind me. New Line Cinema is part of...
I think it is.
It is part of it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
it is part of Warner Brothers.
So,
yes.
New Line
hang on a minute.
Off the top, they just did Mortal Kombat.
Well,
so they have the rights to that.
Guys, hang on just a minute. Doesn't AT&T also run the streaming service of HBO Plus, HBO Max?
Yes.
And now it's under WB.
Yeah. No, HBO Max is part of WarnerMedia.
Yeah, it is now.
Okay, everything that was ever under WarnerMedia, Cartoon Network, HBO,
yeah,
Warner Brothers, like all those TV shows, all those movies, all those animated shows. Rick and Morty is under that shit because it's under Cartoon Network.
It's all going to be merged.
Adult Swim is
Channel.
under them too.
It's all going to be merged in with the same channel, the same communications company that gave us Mythbusters.
Huh.
That gave us Deadliest Catch.
Hey.
That gave us
Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. Row your boat daintily down the sewer pipe.
That gave us Discovery World high definition documentaries back in the early 2000s that were sold on HD DVD.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
It goes far that
Honestly,
back.
it feels like three gamblers on a big table, Disney, Netflix, and WarnerMedia just grabbing as many chips as they can so they can start betting on the big tables and see how they can scrap out.
Like I said, man, they got a long way to climb because ain't nobody going to knock down Netflix and Disney.
No,
Not
it is
yet.
so fucking funny because that just goes to show you how much money is being thrown between these fucking companies, and it is crazy.
You can buy countries with the amount of cash they're trading around.
This is going to be fodder for geek communities and geek channels like ourselves to be chomping on for the next year.
Yep.
And you know they're going to go down on the stupid minutia, and I bet you right fucking now they're going to go down like, oh, is Discovery at fault for the new Superman animated series that made Jimmy Olsen a black kid instead of Ginger?
What do you mean?
It must be Discovery's fault.
What do you mean
it
black?
Must be.
What do you mean black? He's purple. He came from Steven Universe or some shit.
No, is the Discovery Channel merger destroying the Snyderverse? The Snyderverse is being killed.
God, I hope so.
Dude, of course they're going to do that. That's
no,
a business
fucking
tactic.
idiots.
That's a business tactic because here's the truth of it all. Here's the thing. As we mentioned earlier, it's not going to affect AT&T as an infrastructure. They're still going to be generating money. They're still going to bring in money. So even if this deal falls through, even if things flop after the fact,
oh no,
there's no way it's going to.
They're not going to. Yeah, they're not going to lose anything.
Oh no,
they're still going to generate money annually.
Guess what? No, you're wrong. You're wrong about that. In our search for the right article from CNBC, there was one article in there that specifically said if the deal falls through, I need to find it again. We'll try to source it next time, folks. Sorry, we're going off the fly. If the deal falls through, then WarnerMedia and the AT&T would actually be on the hook for a part of that $1 billion.
Oh.
So even if like something happens and it doesn't happen, the merger or sale doesn't actually go through,
They're still going in.
they still have to pay something for it.
They still
That
have
will fuck WarnerMedia for life.
But
Welcome.
just to
Hey
save
guys, you want to buy the DCEU?
I mean,
yes, but just to save themselves from being the bad guys, they're still gonna point fingers and point.
I mean,
at someone
for the
else.
record, at this point, anybody could write better movies for the DCU.
Guys, what do you think of this merger deal with
Please,
WarnerMedia?
let us
Discovery?
know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Let us
Speaking
know
of
in the
which,
comments. Let us know in the live chat. Let us know what you think about this entire thing. And like I said right now, this is going to be fodder for YouTubers for the next 12
Oh, yeah.
months.
We're gonna be
They're
talking about
going
this
to
for a
try
while.
to pin everything that they don't like about a TV show or about a movie on the merger. They used to use it on like, oh, there's this power struggle in WarnerMedia. There's
Shit is getting so real in there.
No, this one guy's trying to stifle Zack Snyder, or no, that she resolved
Oh
this
my
fault.
God.
But you
Like,
don't understand. We have to revive the burst, brah.
No.
all right. So
Dude,
what are the
the
comments?
Bears was
saying? 'Cause I
revived.
saw a couple more.
All right, real quick on the chat. Let's see here. Okay, Billy, the only WWE related project that I haven't seen yet but feel it'll be better than Space Jam is Mortal Kombat, which I haven't watched yet due to laziness. You're right. The Mortal Kombat movie is fine. It's good. There's stuff in it that obviously is giving Angel a minor aneurysm, but it was still fun.
I will say nothing. I will simply let
You
him watch
already
the movie
said
and
it. You
decide.
already
Enough. We had a little review of it. It's okay.
You already said enough.
The first movie was still better.
Go on.
Easily. Let's see. Gene says, thank you guys for having me on. Come see me when you're done, Juan. I'll check you out later.
Thanks, brah.
Nora, by the way, I'm 264.2 now. Yay, congratulations.
Congratulations. We're happy to hear that.
And Billy was saying, wait, what? What a fucking coincidence when we said that WarnerMedia was being sold to Discovery. Let's see here. Nora, that's enough for me to go shopping. Yay.
Congrats.
Billy, so not 7.5 billion like the Bethesda acquisition, pathetic number. Okay, so what did you miss? You basically missed us having a miniature spaz attack about the WarnerMedia sale to Discovery, and how this is basically boiling down to like, it's gonna be people throwing like money left and right between these fucking executives. Somebody's gonna lose money regardless, and the idiot YouTubers who use these kind of news for fodder are going to basically pin everything they like and don't like.
That's
on
us, by the
this
way.
merger.
We are the idiot YouTubers. We're going to use the shit out of this.
Yeah,
I
probably.
don't think so.
I'm going to report on this motherfucker every time something happens. This is interesting.
God damn it, Angel.
Now
You
another
brought it here,
yeah.
fucker.
Like,
now another deal that I actually want to talk about.
yep, it's not quite as gigantic as the terrifying 83 together as a
$1 billion.
Wait, hang on. $1 billion. Oh.
That's why I was doing it. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was like, it's billion. You double up on the billion.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'll give you that. But this is still a positive depending on how you look at it. For all the
Oh.
wrestling fans out there,
Oh, boy, here we go.
Real quick.
this was announced on Wednesday, May 19th. And I have an article from Deadline.com. AEW Dynamite shifting over to TBS in 2022 as All Elite Wrestling franchise expands with a new show for AEW Rampage. Just to give you some background, Turner said that on Wednesday that TNT's wrestling series AEW Dynamite, which airs every Wednesday night at 8/7 Central on TNT, will now move over to TBS in January of 2022. The move comes as TNT is adding a new hour-long series called AEW Rampage, which will debut on August 13th at 10 p.m. That show is also going to be relocated. So basically, Turner Media has reached out to All Elite Wrestling. They offered them 8 figures to move their show over to TBS, the Superstation. The channel is older than TNT. We know this.
Yes.
And they also, like, before they announced the Rampage show, they offered to extend AEW Dynamite to 3 hours instead of 2 hours of programming. And history has already recorded that 3 hours of wrestling programming is way too much because viewership drops at the third hour.
Like, after, you can only keep the audience's interest for so long. They gotta get up and take a piss after a while, you know? 2 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah, please.
Hang on a minute.
I want so bad.
Yeah, I know.
He's putting on his jockstrap right now. You can't even see
So as
it.
of right now, the show is still going to be on. It's still on Wednesday nights at TNT for the time being. Let's
We
see
know
here.
drama.
Yeah. We got here some quotes here from those who were involved. Both TBS and TNT has an incredibly storied past with wrestling so far. Us being able to put on more AEW onto TBS was a natural fit. Being able to program these networks as a portfolio gives me the latitude to put them where it makes most sense for the consumer. Did the NHL have anything to do with it? Sure. Well, that was another factor.
Wait, who's saying this quote? It doesn't give the name. Who's giving this quote?
Oh, well, hang on a minute. Brett Weiss, the general manager of TBS, TNT, and True TV.
Oh, so he's the guy in charge of the TV channels.
So he did mention that part of the factor is the scheduling of the NBA basketball seasons and the NHL hockey season.
That is true. When you got multiple sports events going
from the side
down.
of Turner.
Don't forget, when you got multiple sports events going at the same time and you're dueling with the other shows for the proper TV spot to get them. It's like two businesses trying to fight for the place in the street that has the most amount of foot traffic and shade for the trees.
Yeah.
Location, location, location.
Now, I read other reports, and I just need to pull up a tweet from Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that
because he's not biased at all, is he?
Oh,
not at all.
Oh my God! But here's the thing:
I need to let you know I am biting my tongue because I'm waiting for your permission for me to actually go in on this because I have so much to say on this.
Gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
You go ahead and use.
You go ahead, but give me just a second here. I'm trying to find it here. Give me just a second. Folks, bear with me because, man, he tweets a lot.
Okay. May I?
You know what? Go ahead.
Case. Okay.
Because I know you want to rip a new one.
Okay. So here's what's up. Okay, number one, my first reaction was, well, I guess AEW doesn't know drama anymore. Ha. And secondly, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Tony Khan the owner of All Elite Wrestling? Isn't he like a fucking billionaire's son? Doesn't he have access to a buttload of money? And doesn't his dad also own an NFL franchise? You mean to tell me that he somehow wasn't able to outbid the NFL, the NBA and NHL hockey fucking time slots so that he could stay on TNT? Is that something that we need to take into consideration here?
Maybe, but
also, what does this happen to? What does this do to one of their championship belts that they have in All Elite Wrestling, the TNT Championship?
Oh yeah,
they can't do it on TBS anymore
unless they change it
to the TBS Championship.
Now, I pulled up an article from 411 Mania. According to Meltzer. Let's see here. AEW getting better lead-ins for its programming was not part of the company's negotiations with WarnerMedia. He added that AEW was able to get more money from the new programming announcement based on a clause that was already written in the existing contract with WarnerMedia. The promotion was asked to move aside from TNT because AEW likely would have been preempted much further between as I mentioned earlier, NBA and NHL did play a factor. Let's see here.
Basically, guys... And like, hey, you know, All Elite Wrestling. You know how you guys are the biggest independent promotion in the country. Yeah, you guys are not important enough for us to cancel basketball over you. Sorry. Well, we're gonna have to cancel you in place of basketball.
Well, no. Consider this. Hang on a minute. It's not so much as they're not important. It's just that they're 2 weeks ago
they don't have enough money to fight for that spot.
Let me explain here. Because 2 weeks ago, on the week of Cinco de Mayo, AEW did pull through in being the number one watched show in the cable top 150. They knocked out all the other shows for that 1 week, and they killed it in viewership and the demographics. Kudos to them. That made the executives of Turner happy. Bravo. I don't think it's so much as that they're not important. More like they like what they're producing, but they want to keep them on the air, but they don't want to compromise what they originally have planned. So moving them over to TBS, I think, is a fair compromise. And also part of the deal is that apparently AEW is going to be airing quarterly TV specials like they've been doing this year with Fight for the Fallen, Fyter Fest. Apparently, according to Meltzer, it's a callback to when WCW in the 90s, they aired their quarterly specials of Clash of the Champions.
Yeah, there was another WCW tradition that came up on the TBS Superstation. It was called WCW Thunder.
Oh, God. Well,
okay, let me ask one question here.
All right, go on.
Let me ask this one question. If it's so important that AEW has a working relationship with Turner Media, but it is also so important that they do not get in the way of basketball and hockey, then why in the hell did they put him in on TNT in the first place? Oh, because they have the tradition of it being Nitro on TNT. It was on there before. Yeah, and then they went off in 2001. He never had a fucking wrestling show since. At that point, they had established themselves with almost 20 years of NBA programming and NHL hockey programming. Well, they got way more money and way more ratings out of that. So now we want to just for tradition and the big thing. We have to bring wrestling back. No, why didn't they just go?
Sounds cool. Let's bring it back. I'm down for that.
No, why didn't they go ahead and bring it in to TBS when they came back? Why didn't they do that if they were so concerned? Or was it that the fuckers over at WarnerMedia don't have foresight?
I think it's more of the Turner side than the AEW side.
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm
Hindsight is
saying.
2020 when it
Yeah.
comes to this kind of thing, isn't it?
Well, here's the thing: if they move them over to TBS, like, how will that affect them in terms of viewership, in terms of demographics? Do people watch TBS more than TNT?
Okay, actually, yeah. Do we have any sources of that? Which one do they watch the most?
From what
I'm not sure.
Because based on the casual viewer, from people who used to watch cable TV, when we watched TNT, it was nothing. It was just filled with original TV series, with movies, and drama.
Don't
yes.
forget.
Lots of reruns of sitcoms and actually no, not sitcoms. There was a lot of them were like drama shows, like Law and Order.
Reruns of drama shows.
Do not forget that this is happening in the midst of a movement that is causing people to lose all interest on cable TV. That means that companies are desperate to keep their fan base and keep the money. And when a company gets desperate, any mention of risk is avoided immediately. You mention doing anything outside of the norm that might cause even short-term loss, your ass is going out the window. Gentlemen, we're having trouble and we're losing viewers. What do we do? More shows, more budget. We should try something different. And then that guy just flies the fuck out. He's gone.
Yeah, no, of course. And TBS is the one that shows reruns of sitcoms and comedy shows and all that.
What does TBS stand for again?
Turner Broadcast Station.
Oh, yeah.
They're the older of the two channels, the super.
Turner's Ballsack, TBS.
He colorized the moon. No,
Exactly.
Okay.
How will you like a job? You disgust me. Get out of my sight.
But no, as I was stating,
You're hired. Get out of my sight.
As I was stating to Juan, and yes, Juan, eventually I will agree with you with the statement in bed.
I will agree eventually, just not today.
Well, no, let me explain. It's not so much is that Turner doesn't see AEW as an important program to keep on, but more of they're impressed with their numbers. They want to keep them on the airwaves, but they don't want it to compromise with their schedules for basketball and hockey. Hence, I think that's the factor of why they're moving them to the Superstation. But as Juan pointed out earlier, and I'm not willing to agree with him, the Turner executives don't have enough foresight to put them on TBS in the first place.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. But remember, anything they do represents a risk. And right now, they feel like they're most likely not in a position to afford being risky. More importantly, these people are terribly out of touch.
Yeah.
If TBS isn't making as much money as the fucking Call of Duty franchise in one day, they will immediately start thinking that this might not be as good as it should be. Because they do not understand that you can only make so much money after a while for a new package that just came out and is slowly gathering a growing, to their credit, increasingly growing fan base. But it doesn't compare to the numbers they make when the hockey times are happening. You know?
That is true.
That's the point I'm trying to make over here. Like, how is it that they say that they're so valued with AEW, but the moment hockey and basketball come rolling around, they gotta...
Because it makes
makes a
you
shit
don't
ton
understand.
more money.
We're not talking about money. We're talking about a shit ton of money.
A shit ton.
When you reach the level of shit tons of money, then let me put it this way. What's the name of the show that they moved again?
All Elite Wrestling.
Okay,
AEW Dynamite.
Olive League Oil Wrestling. So, right now that's making money, but it's not making a shit ton of money. But hockey season is only for hockey season. Olive Wrestling is going to be around for a longer time and shows up more frequently, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
For now. If Olive Oil Virgin style wrestling gets to make not money, shit tons of money, mountainous piles of money on a consistent and frequent basis, then they're not going to care nearly as much about hockey, because hockey is only going to be there with you when the snow falls. But Olive Wrestling, that will be there as long as it wants to be, if it makes money. Once again, these people think only on numbers and what makes the number bigger. Everything else is a side plot. And that's the problem with them, unfortunately.
At the risk of making a weird Star Trek obscure reference,
shoot, fam.
Loyalty isn't as important as short-term quarterly gains.
There you have it. No, that's pretty. Once again, Star Trek, pearls of wisdom everywhere, just falling down from the stars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
and
before we get into the next subject over here, were you wrapping up?
oh yeah, no, I was just gonna wrap up and say, like, honestly, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I'm not optimistic about it, but I'm not gonna shit on the deal. I'm more, if you want my honest opinion, I'm more 50-50 about it.
You will fart on the deal.
No, that's shitting on the deal. Come on, man. No, I'm not doing that. I want to wait and see what happens. I want to wait and see how this turns out. If it folds because, like, I don't know, maybe it's because they're, and this is just another theory that just popped up right now. Maybe if you compare the viewership of TNT to TBS, not many people are watching TBS, and maybe they're moving them over to AEW to TBS to try and help generate a viewership.
That is a possibility. I mean, like I said,
it's just a guess. I'm just throwing theories.
The problem with that
It is
theory
a
is that
fairly
they're
accurate guess.
just as likely to be throwing them into TBS to get them out of the way and throw them in the closet as they are to, we need AEW to boost TBS ratings.
It's possible.
Just as likely.
Question though, when they're being moved. Do we know the time slot they're being moved to?
Same time slot.
All right, Dynamite
is?
will still be on Wednesday nights at 8/7 Central, and their new third-hour show, AEW Rampage, will be on Friday nights at 10 p.m. following SmackDown.
See, the Friday one is the one that worries me. The Wednesday one at 8, that's perfect. Most people have left work and are sitting down in front of the TV. Friday at 10, most people want to go out. Or they're going to sleep to prepare for the Sunday. You can tell how much a company wants to give a fuck about a show, seeing where they put them on the time slot. When you see them move a show to a time slot that is either fuck early in the morning or fuck late in the afternoon, they don't care.
That's that. Do you know what that does bring up a concern? And also for the wrestling fans who are at home Friday after watching SmackDown, they'll already be burned out to watch another wrestling programming at 10 p.m.
Listen, man, I can only see so many sweaty muscle bends slam each other on the ground, okay? No, don't look at my tabs. I'm talking about a different calves.
Oh, my God.
Point in case is...
I don't know about this Friday show.
Yeah, based on that, I wasn't caring about Friday, but when you told me it was 10 p.m., I'm like...
It's a 10 p.m. 1-hour show. That was the counter that Tony Khan wants to produce rather than adding a third hour to Dynamite.
As the children say, feels kind of sus. But we'll just have to wait and see. But the way for what you guys are describing me, the fact that they're moving it to Friday is not bad. A lot of people get traffic on Friday. It's the hour that troubles me because if they're putting it at 10... See, I'm going to have to fucking go into like TV schedules and see what else is on at 10 on Friday that people watch on that same demographic. I'm going to have to contact the goddamn PR team of this fucking Warner Turner company,
Right.
Ballsack, so they can tell me what's going on here. Because it feels suspicious, but at the same time, I want to see if I can get more information somewhere. I need more details.
No, trust me. Yeah, no, all this, now that we're actually discussing about it, this all falls into, the ridiculousness of the executives of Turner Media and their decisions.
No, like when it comes to entertainment companies, when it comes to as people like to call them legacy media, like television and broadcast radio. These guys
your legacy.
These guys are grasping at anything they can. Well, at the same time, I'm gonna address something very quick.
Go ahead.
Because
I'm already done.
We're running low on time over here,
Yeah.
but
I only got one thing to say after all this, by the way. Got like one little bit of news to drop after we're done.
Okay, no.
No. I'm sorry. You just reached this point where you're like, ugh, fucking done.
No, like I was going to fucking say, legacy media is trying like crazy to hang on to whatever they can in order to stay relevant and in order to stay on. Whereas new media like internet, like streaming services and internet platforms like YouTube are basically holding a stranglehold in the market.
Stab them.
And that just goes to show exactly what the fuck is happening next. What more could these media companies possibly fucking do to try to keep themselves at the forefront? And apparently that leads to Netflix, which is a video streaming service, wanting to get into the video games business.
Oh boy!
I don't know how to feel.
Fuck?
Well, thankfully, my friend Joe here gave me a nice little bit of information to work with. Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't know how to feel about this. So, it is no secret that Netflix has been consuming the streaming market for a while, especially competing with Disney+. But a new report suggests that it wants to get into the video game industry as well. Now, this is just a report that we received, so please be aware we're just... Money, dear boy. Money, dear boy. Dinero.
All right.
Oh,
Please
So,
keep going before
The
Juan
report
breaks
cites that
himself.
people familiar with the situation reveals that Netflix has been approaching key figures and industry veterans in the gaming industry to recruit an executive to oversee an expansion into video games. The suggested approach seems to be the Apple Arcade business model, which allows consumers to pay a fixed fee to access and stream a number of games via the service. I believe we had something similar to that. What was it called again? GameSpot, Game something? Game.
It's something.
There was
similar.
a service similar to that.
yeah,
few
no,
years
there was
ago.
a fucking
Yeah,
online
yeah,
service, wasn't there?
yeah.
And didn't Netflix fucking absorb them?
Yeah, it consumed them. Maybe they're trying to bring it back. Now it is reported. Apparently, it hasn't been yet decided if Netflix will look to develop the games themselves or they'll just be paying for them. But, however, it's been reported that confirmed internally that these games will not include any advertisement. Apparently, they started hosting a panel about this kind of thing all the way back in 2019, but only...
Gamefly was the fucking name.
That's
Sorry
the
about that.
Oh
one.
my God, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, for a goddamn good reason, because Steam existed and it fucking... Steam is the Netflix of video game providers. They just devoured everything inside.
And now you can
Yep.
find Lawbreakers on Steam.
It's
a movie.
evolution taking its course.
It's evolution. Don't feel bad. It's only nature taking its course.
But
Your memes are going to play games with me.
Oh my goodness.
No, but now, that being said, this is all the information we got here. So we don't know if Netflix wants to make games or if they're simply going to foot the bill. The second one seems like a best option because they're not going to interfere in the creative process. But I honestly don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to revive GameFly?
Well, here's the thing. I want to bring an example because, and this is
Gamefly's still around. That's the problem.
All right,
How
guys.
the fuck?
I actually have a good example. and
Please.
all right, and it's to divulge a little bit of a personal life. I actually sat down with my nephew, Juan's son, and we actually watched a Netflix show of Minecraft, and apparently it's an interactive video game. I don't know, like
Was that called Minecraft Story Mode by any chance?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's like their one of their beta phases to see if they
I
can
think
produce
so.
interactive video
Because
games.
I recall that one had like a bunch of YouTubers as guest stars. It was just kind of a
No,
goddamn
It was
mess.
kind of weird, man.
But yeah, the way I see it here, best case scenario, they simply
No.
pay for them. You know, they give you the money, you develop the game, you commercialize it. Worst case scenario, we're gonna get GameFly 2.0. And as we have seen before, trying to compete with Steam in that department is
No.
an ill-advised venture, if you want to call it that.
No.
See, I want to agree with you, but at the same time, unlike AT&T, never underestimate Netflix's ability to take risks.
Honestly, I can't. Considering that they were born from a risk, it makes sense that they'd be willing to jump into the gun on this one. But
Yeah, they're gonna take this risk.
I am kind of
regardless.
I am gonna remain neutral on this one until I know more information because right now we only have
No.
one report.
Hang on a minute, Juancho.
Now, Juan
No.
clearly seems to disagree with me on this one, so please elaborate on why you think this might not be a good idea, Mr. Arauz.
No.
No, seriously, I need more words. This is not the Onision. I don't do that to me. I need explanations.
No. What the fuck, Netflix?
Mr. Juan, the burden of proof is on you. Please let us know in exact words why do you think this is a bad idea?
Without interruption?
Yeah, sure, you got like 2 minutes. I gotta say something else after this, though.
The problem here is that Netflix doesn't know for the first fucking thing about the video game business. Even if they get the best fucking executive that they possibly can, having an executive doesn't mean that you're going to be good at running video games.
That is
or
true.
creating them, or properly marketing them, or properly working with artists and engineers in order to produce them for you. Just because, like, okay, literally. One lesson is that like one of the earliest mergers of corporations was like an executive from the Coca-Cola company working in with guess fucking who?
Whomst?
Warner Brothers Pictures.
How did that go?
It went terrible. The only
you're-
thing the person fucking knew was like, oh hey, the marketing department says people like this. Let's make this.
Oh God.
No.
Yeah, it turns out listening to the HR department, to the
Marketing.
all the time for everything might not be the smartest idea. Now,
Modern day equivalent is listening to Twitter and thinking that it's real people.
allow me to offer you a counterpoint. What if the only thing they do is fund the project and nothing else? What if they literally just go, here is big blank paycheck, develop game studio?
I doubt it.
Can you imagine
They're
a
gonna
world
want
where you turn on a video game and the first thing you see is the...
That's gonna be weird. And like I said, they're not gonna stop there. They're gonna go nosediving right into this venture.
I want to see how this goes, because if this turns good, hey, competition creates improvement. If this turns bad, I'm just gonna laugh.
I'm expecting it. I'm being cautiously optimistic, but I think I'm leaning more towards the bad side. I think it's gonna flop because this is outside of their element. This is outside of what they're good at.
But now, before we're finished with this episode, I would like to bring out what I consider to be good news and cathartic news. So, as we know, in recent years, manga has been slowly and insidiously devouring the consumer market. If you go to Barnes & Noble right now, the manga section is like three shelves long. The comic book section is barely half a shelf long, and most of those titles are old classic titles rebooked and reprinted and repackaged. It's getting bigger, and now it has resulted that basically the public is just turning more towards manga than comics. People thought that when the MCU was developed, with all their fancy work, it would increase the popularity of comics. It in fact just increased the popularity of the movies themselves. Ironically enough, the movies didn't sell comics, the movies sold movies. Surprise, surprise. This has resulted in a combination of factors. Mainly the fact that it's pretty much agreed by 99% of the population that the quality of comics, specifically DC, has gone down atrociously. The artwork has gotten worse. The stories have gotten worse. And the artists, producers, and writers have become more obsessed with pushing an agenda instead of telling you a goddamn story. Manga doesn't do that. And as a result, they have been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But how big, do you ask?
How big?
So, as of the recent report, this is one manga. Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
Very nice manga.
Yeah.
Relatively normal, simple story.
Yeah.
Beautiful animated adaptation.
Yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Yeah.
As of the most recent report, that manga alone in America and worldwide has sold 100 million units. That's a very impressive number.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the entire comic book industry in this year alone sold 15 million units.
Ow.
Oof. One manga has outdone the entire comic book industry almost literally 10 times over. In exchange for that, moments ago, we just had a realization that the people who work in the comics industry don't really seem to care about the fan base, because they're going out of their way to attack manga and sort of blame the fans for it. Even though, when you sell a product, you're responsible for selling the product. A certain someone on Twitter got into it and started accusing the manga industry in general for their, he claimed, he said, and I quote, borderline sexist and pedophilic content.
Oh my goodness.
This fellow was the co-creator of Power Girl.
Fire him now.
Wait, no, what the okay.
Wait, so he's not still?
He was the original
one of the original
creator.
creators
Yeah,
of Power Girl.
he's not the one that brought him to fame, but he's one of the people that made her. So let me see if I get
Let
this
me get
straight.
this straight.
Yeah.
No, you're the one fucking bringing this up. Let me get this straight.
Yes. I'm gonna find
Power
the tweet.
Girl, who is an alternate universe version of Supergirl.
Yes.
Who is more mature, who has for decades been one of the most sexually iconicized figures in Western comics.
One of my personal favorite heroes.
Of course she is, because she got massive tits and a boob window.
Hey now, she's a very well-developed character with her own adventures and stories and a surprisingly tongue-in-cheek plot. You shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah!
Yes, she does. The only difference is this guy's only a perv. You
perverts.
Yeah, but at least I'm honest about it. You're trying to hide behind it. You mean to tell me that the guy who made her is saying manga bad?
Yes, he literally says.
That's not an example of Pac calling the kettle black.
This is what you're gonna love. Here's the actual tweet of this fellow, known as Gary Conway. American comic book artists are taken deservedly to task regularly for outrageously sexist treatment of women. By the way, that taken to task is one of the reasons why the DC comics are going to shit right now and the Marvel comics are going to shit, because we have entered fucking clown world and the idea of sexy women is now illegal for some reason.
No, it's not. I'm still allowing sexy women.
But rarely do I see any commentary on the rampant sexism and misogynies. Oh no, my knees, they're all soggy. Of manga. And manga is incredibly popular with younger readers. Well, Mr. Conway, it is true that manga is incredibly popular with younger readers. But you know why that is? Because younger readers like to see beautiful men and sexy women. They like to see violence and comedy. They like to see stories that have beginnings, middles, and ends. If I tell you... okay, let me put it this way. Juan, let's say you want to read some manga.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to read Berserk. What would I tell you as a fan? I would tell you, no problem, start in volume 1. But what happens if I go, hey Juan, I would like to read some Batman. Where do I start?
Oh God!
Listen,
You need to go in with this. You're not doing it. You want to go ahead and skip these?
What?
Over here in the Silver Age, everything's got really weird, and Batman has rainbow-colored suits. Okay, there's also this bit that's going on with the Crisis Tours that reboots everything. We've got an Infinity Crisis reboot over here. We also have to going on with the New 52. You do not want to go in the New 52 unless you want to go in the New 52.
Oh my God!
Over here, and furthermore, we have the DC Rebirth over here, which actually goes in, and then you want to go in with the Clive Owen, and then the continuity of going in with freaking Jake Crazy.
So you
we gotta understand. And furthermore, none of these are helping out with the firing of the Justice of Snyderverse.
Oh wait, hang on. Hey Juan,
are you sure you don't need a drink of?
Hey Juan. Hey Juan, I just got news that everything got rebooted again. Should I start there instead?
Are you trying to kill Juan?
Yes, he is.
Not today.
I actually wanted to give some good news after a shitty story, but I'm not going to get the time for that.
No, you know, we can afford to go a little over time.
So I'm clamping down as I finish my little report. Yes, it would seem that manga has developed the power to finally challenge and defeat the comic book industry on the grounds that the comic book industry has spent the last few years effectively killing itself. We are reaching a zenith point where the younger generation simply doesn't care. They want a beginning, a middle, and an end. They want stories with violence and comedy and drama. They want stories that actually have a proper fucking start and an ending. And yes, contrary to popular belief, we like big butts and we cannot lie.
Yeah.
We like our heroes to look conventionally beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. And we appreciate diversity that doesn't get shown to our face or replace existing characters with other color palettes for the sake of giving a hand-me-down to people of color. Ultimately, manga has won because it's better and because everybody else has done their best to become infinitely worse. This is nature running its course.
Yeah.
Anyway, Juan, you want to say something else?
Yes, please let Juan say something for God's
For the record, this is still good news for those of you who love manga and enjoy Demon Slayer. Congrats, you guys are fucking winning.
But
Stay up.
now-
Please.
Yes, it is. I'm just over here. But at what cost?
Balling, but at what cost? Suffering from
It's
success.
okay. Juan, what good news do you have to offer?
I was going to actually talk about the good shit that happened with our boy Andy Signor.
Hey, it's our boy.
All right.
No,
I know-
we can talk about it now.
Okay,
Yeah, let's
yes. Thank you,
Besides,
please.
Andy is our friend. He deserves our
Yes,
time.
he is. He's
deserves
our
it.
man. He's one of our mans. He supports the Ravens flock, and like we support Popcorn Planet right back.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Earlier this week, our boy Andy Signor's Popcorn Planet channel got demonetized completely and nearly got pulled from the entirety of YouTube altogether, thanks to a review on his channel over videos that he had from over 8 years ago or something. Like he's had a situation where people have been attacking him and trying to get his channel taken down because of his coverage of the divorce between the Amber Heard and fucking Johnny Depp.
Ah, yes. He made it quite clear that he took one side on this, and somebody wasn't happy with the fact that apparently some dude in a hat can just get on the internet and say his opinions.
And with that in mind, the bunch of us had started rallying to try to help Andy out on this shit.
Yes, me and Juan, we put out a PSA addressing the problem, to get more ears, more eyes, to get more people, aware of what's going on.
I didn't get as much coverage, but I threw mine there too.
You're right, and we had other folks who are friends of the Ravens flock here. We had Planet of Nerds, we had Nerd Report, Jody's Corner, Steph the Alter Nerd, who was on earlier tonight in the chat. Everyone was making a giant fucking stink of it on Twitter, trying to tell you YouTube teams, the team YouTube channel, Twitter page to what the fuck is wrong with you guys? You guys are demonetizing a dude who hasn't done anything. And what they
But you don't understand why. He had opinions on the internet.
No.
We can't have that.
Angel, that's not what happened.
That's not the point.
Here's what
Go
fucking
on.
happened.
Yay.
It turned out Andy had an older video on there from years ago where he made a comedy skit involving girls in swimsuits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, big deal. It's comedy. Oh, I see where this is going.
Do you?
Yeah.
Juan, continue.
Please, go ahead. This is
The channel was being manually reviewed on YouTube and saw that video that had been up for a very long time did not conform to the current YouTube community guidelines. And
By the way, YouTube has no grandfather clause. They can and will dig down into your past and fuck you over. Also gonna get a retroactive fuckover. That's what it's called.
Yes, it is.
But because of us, because of all the supporters, all the people rallied behind Popcorn Planet, rallied behind Andy Signor and his family and his loved ones, and thanks to us, the voice of the masses, his channel is back on, and he's gotten his monetization back.
Nice
Normally,
job, brah.
shit like that takes at least 30 days to get fixed.
Thankfully,
But with the power of every asshole on Twitter who supports Andy Signor tweeting out and screaming for...
If enough tards make enough noise, damn it!
If enough turd holes make enough noise, then people will listen. No,
Unless your name is Markiplier, then they'll just listen right away.
It proved,
he's just Maze Hughes. Let's not...
Yeah.
He's
cool, though.
Guys, it proves that our voice, our opinions do matter, and the more people voice about it, the more awareness, the more attention it's brought to those in charge, the powers that be. They're going to listen, and they're going to make changes. If you want evidence, just to piggyback off of Juancho, how many people have voiced over Onision until Onision lost his affiliation with Twitch?
Many.
Like, here's what's up. It took forever to get his Twitch affiliation taken off.
But it worked.
But it worked. Because folks were reporting on the shit that he's done.
Exactly.
I'm not going to get into another
No, I'm
tirade
just bringing
tonight,
it up as an example. Our voices...
Hold it back.
Hold it back. I'm bringing it up as an example.
Match
Our
to hold.
voices, your voices, it does matter, and it holds weight.
It's a shame that we had to reach the point where we had to do this in the first place, because that is some bullshit. And if you don't believe that's bullshit, go to YouTube right now and type naked yoga. Please, go ahead. Just see what happens.
Not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Think about that for a moment. A man nearly lost his entire livelihood because of a dumb joke made how many years ago?
I don't even know.
8 or 10,
8
maybe.
years. Listen, I understand that in the internet what you put there stays there, but calm the fuck on. It's not like it was some illegal crime. He didn't make a video of himself putting his ballsack on the table and snorting cocaine through his dick hole. The man just did his job, made his comedy, and got out with it. It was simple, basic shit. But now we are reaching the point where Mama Susan is squeezing the blood tight, and at this rate, there's not going to be any monetization left in YouTube.
Like, that's like one of the problems that I've got with all sorts of different platforms. You got legacy media like fucking TV and radio.
Ridiculous.
Right? Trying like crazy to hold on to any little thing they can.
Chokehold.
We've got new media like streaming platforms like Netflix and YouTube as well.
It's like social. It's like fucking communism. Our media.
Either
now.
trying to horn in on business they got no business in, or arbitrarily fucking with people who create content for them. I get it. Back when we first were demonetized because we're still tiny, the Ravens flock was not nearly big enough to just
still banned in Germany.
But
yes.
We're working towards that. We're working towards trying to be a monetizable, worthwhile channel. That way we can actually work.
We're doing everything. Yeah, we're doing everything we can to elevate ourselves.
How quickly can you install like a bleeper in there? Because the second we make one swear, we lose that shit immediately.
Nope, I don't care.
I should get my swearing right out while I can, because fuck, man, this bullshit ain't gonna go nowhere with all these cunts.
Well, it's about time you swear.
Oh, I swear all the time. I just like to do it when it's properly. You have to do it for a situation, like the period at the end of the sentence.
Exactly.
But getting back to it, look at this bullshit.
It
A
is.
man whose crime is literally chasing the bread was kicked out of the bread store because 8 years ago he had a Playboy magazine under his arm. That is the equivalent of this crap.
No, not even a Playboy magazine. Like a Maxim magazine.
A Maxim magazine.
Come on, man. That's not even
Mormon
close.
porn. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look, think about that for a second. The YouTube system can go back in time years ago and kill you because your feed was not squeaky clean. That is the reason why so many good videos that used to exist are no longer around, because the creators fear the monetization, so they have to go back, scrub their fucking album, and you'll never see those again unless you go to another website.
That which is more important now that that if something like this happens in the future, we need to bring this up. We need to address it. Like, 'cause
Exactly.
it shouldn't happen to anybody, especially those who make 100% of their total income based off of the streaming platforms.
Can you imagine losing your job for something innocuous you did almost a decade ago?
Well, the good news on this was that immediately when this happened, our friend Louis Lecca from Nerd Report made a GoFundMe for Andy to help keep him afloat while they were going on with this.
Nice.
Since it was resolved 24 hours later, what Andy decided to do is, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take what we got saved up on this after once we finish running this GoFundMe, and I'm going to donate what's left of it to the Crisis Center at Tampa Bay
That
to
is
help
awfully
folks who have who are in dangerous situations, who need help in counseling, or who have mental health issues, or if they
That's
have
actually very good.
issues. So
That's
Or
actually-
live in
That's
Florida, which is a disability in of itself.
with that, shut up. That goes to show you that Andy is not like this craven asshole like we are. He's got fucking standards. He's willing to like pass forward the good karma and the good juju that folks were trying to put to him, and he's willing to pass that forward.
Yes.
I don't know if we'd have that sort of moral integrity to do
I
that.
wouldn't.
Now. Well,
I would, dude. Literally, next YouTube video, me snorting cocaine off a hooker's ass, like right there and then. It's
Oh,
okay.
my God.
We'll just label it as therapeutic chemistry administration.
oh my god.
Why are you sailing me?
Yeah, we'll put it.
All right.
We'll just label it under the education tag and make it for the children because we gotta educate the children.
All right. I
we
think
get
that
into the
pretty
chat
much
real quick
does it.
before we
Let's
wrap
get on
up?
the chat before
ahead,
we
go
wrap
ahead.
up.
Quickly, Billy, guys, I know it's ancient, but what are your thoughts on SJW's reaction to the demon can be offensive term line? I asked that now as I got to the part and it made me laugh. Almost forgot about it though, LOL. Angel better give me his take though on that as well. Angel, quick question: save Wyatt or Fergus? I'm stressed out about the decision.
Oh,
This was that was done 10 minutes ago.
That's tough. Okay, first.
Damn, no questions for me, guys?
No.
Okay,
Oh, well.
okay. I'm gonna make it quick because we're running out of time. First off, the whole please refer to the demons as mortally challenge was very thankfully not made that much of a big deal. Somebody tried to raise a stink and they were promptly drowned under the wave of common sense
Yay.
that told them, get the fuck over it, it's a joke. And the game being wildly successful pretty much shut down all that. And on the other one, one of them has lived a long time. He's done his part. He can pass on. Right now, you gotta make the new blood survive because they need you. The other one will understand. Do what you think is right, but I believe that the old man will understand as well. That's all I'm saying.
All right, cool.
All right.
All right.
I think that pretty
Damn
much...
it, Billy! Why you gotta hurt me like this by reminding me of that shit, man? It's a great game, but it
We've gone
fucks real
over
good.
by 15 minutes. As
Yeah,
they,
we've gone over by 15 minutes. I think we should
think
pretty
we're
much
good to
wrap
go
it.
then.
Yeah, we're pretty much wrapping up. Just want to remind the viewers, there will not be an edition of Wrestle Rewind next week, but please tune in next weekend as we wrap up the 5th anniversary of Doom 2016 on another exciting live edition of Los Amigos Play.
We're getting close to the climax, boys.
Yes, we are. And with that being said, Juan, plug us away.
Thank you very much for watching this week's live stream edition of the Ravens Flock. Don't forget that from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Saturday night, myself, Juan Arauz, along with our show host and leader, Jose Casapona, and Angel Mendez, the living id of the Ravens Flock, along with any other our teammates, and of course yourselves, the audience, the fans, the folks that we speak for, will come forward every Saturday night to speak with you about nerd culture, convention, the convention community culture, about stupid shit happening in the world of video games and TVs, movies, mangas, comic books, the stuff that you know that we need, that we can cover for you, and we will do everything we can, as we've been doing since 2013, to continue to make your voice our mission. We ask you to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlock online, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlock online, and of course, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock. Home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock.
Yes.
All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. It has been exciting. It has been very informative. This has been another exciting live edition of our flagship show. Nerds all over the world watching, we are the Ravens Flock, and we are